What up, everybody? We are back with another session of the Thoughts Out Loud experiments. I think this is session 55, and I have not been paying close attention to the numbers. I'm certain it's session 55. And before we get started, I've been holding off on this because I got my timing wrong, but I am doing yet another taste test of. I actually ordered 3 products yesterday. I actually may have mentioned it in the session or in the episode. Wow, that's the first time I've ever corrected it from session to episode. But yesterday I had lion's mane mushroom coffee or mushroom tea. It tastes like pizza tea because I like mushroom on my pizza. And so, like, to me, it was just like water. It was like, it almost tasted like somebody just ran like pizza. It tastes exactly like what it was. It was mushrooms run through a strainer. So we got like something similar. This is mushroom coffee, and again, we're dealing with the light. And this was, this is one of 3 products that I bought. The other ones, and this is basically lion's mane infused with coffee. The other one was lion's mane infused with tea or green tea. And so I want to get this a taste. Now, the other one had recommendations. It said to mix it with, I think it said butter, milk, nut milk, and something like that. I mentioned it yesterday. I said I didn't have it. But this one actually says it's recommended that you mix it with butter, cacao powder, and coconut oil, all of which I had here. So I've made myself a cup, still warm. And I may have overdone it with I got grass-fed butter in it, sweetened cacao because I got no regular cacao, and coconut oil. This is my first taste. Starbucks, not a sponsor. Neither is Lion's Mane or whoever, or Four Sigmatic. So this is the lion's mane infused with coffee, and again, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, and cacao. If given a choice, I'd go for coffee. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let me just mix this up really quickly so we can go ahead and get started. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. Yesterday I didn't feel much different. It's not bad, nice and creamy. Grass-fed butter does wonders. Yesterday was Tuesday, so it wasn't yesterday was Wednesday, so it was recording night. I got the recording done. I have to go through and edit it, and that's why Thoughts Out Loud is probably going to be a shorter version today, or in a little bit short today. But the recording night kind of it's that same. I don't know. The longer you keep your streak going, the more likely you are to go through great lengths to keep it going. So last night was a good example of that. I actually was very, very tired, despite having the lion's mane coffee, and I think I'll get into that in just a moment. But by the time I got home, by the time I started recording, after everything got done, house didn't empty out. The house didn't empty out yesterday like planned, like it normally does. Supposed to go to like church for Bible study, and they ended up not going. They're gonna go tonight, so I didn't record while everyone was awake because the house is too noisy. I ended up that little look right there was flashback to not recording before. I ended up just going ahead and planning out the episode of the podcast last night and getting everything all ready. These are notes from myself and notes from uni, and I sat here and I recorded the podcast last night I didn't start until like 10:30. And then I went until about 11. Now I like to go to sleep at 10 o'clock because I'm supposed to wake up at 4:45. So being up at 11 o'clock isn't the best answer. Isn't the ideal situation for me. I want to be asleep by then. But I went over there. But I did take a nap when I was so tired yesterday that I took a nap when I got home. That's the weirdest thing. I don't normally do that. I get home, I put in work, or get on something, start researching something, or putting something in action and planning things out depending on what day it was. But I was so tired yesterday. I actually had 2 lift days back to back in the gym, and I think that's what put me over because I missed the gym on Monday, hit the gym on Tuesday, did chest, hit the chest and tricep, hit the gym on Wednesday, did back and bicep, and I mean, I'm sore all over right now. I was just tired. The refrigerator's on, I'm sorry. That's my little co-host. So I couldn't really tell you whether I felt more cognitively aware yesterday. By the end of the day, it definitely wasn't. I was feeling tired. So I can't really. Maybe that's not a great, rendition or a great representation of what the lion's mane did. I'll pay closer attention. I tell you what, when you're paying close attention to your cognitive functions, they just get better anyway. Whether or not you feel like is this something that you took that's making you more awake and keeping you more alert, but you're just paying attention, so you are more alert and you are paying attention to what's going on, just inherently in the fact that your mind is on it. No. I definitely want to get more into this biohacking stuff. Like I've been hearing, you hear so many people talk about it. Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, and I think there was somebody that was on their show that was on the Tim Ferriss show at the end of last year, at the end of 2016. They were just talking about all kind of stuff, and I was like, what are they saying? Ketosis and things like that, things that are associated with the high fat, low carb diets. In any case, today's goals are, of course, to get the podcast up and ready before 10 o'clock. That should happen. I don't think that's. I will stop this episode, finish up the podcast, send it over to Alphonic to level out the sounds or level out the audio. Get that version, send it over to Libsyn, and just quickly write something up, and then head off to the office. And then, I should be able to schedule it to post. I shouldn't have any problems getting that out. I do, however, want to start getting to the point where I get more than one episode of the podcast recorded in that sitting, which means I'm going to have to clear Wednesday up. I actually have a prior engagement where I just do conversational English with a college professor who may have heard me mention it before, and that is starting to run longer than it should. Because because we have been talking for a long time and we've become friends, and I actually like the conversations that we have. But I'm going to have to start really cutting them down a little bit, particularly on the days where I have things to do. Wednesday is definitely one of those days. I wish I could get maybe I should take a Saturday and just like at least knock out a few episodes, or knock out some recordings. Just sit and record some things that I have planned for throughout the month, because I already know what my next episode is going to be on. It's just getting that motivation to go and do that next episode. In any case, I want to get back to this batch recording style thing so we can free up Wednesday nights. Not even free up Wednesday nights, but be planning way in advance on Wednesday night rather than planning for, or then recording at the last minute or up until midnight and then trying to get something rushed and posted out for the next day, because that's not ideal. I am bound to drop the ball in that case or in that situation. In any case, I've said that probably 5 times now. So for today, for this evening, I have to figure out something to do. It's Thursday. Okay, so here's the goal. So after getting that out, we need to plan out the actual events show that I've been talking about for the last at least the last 3 weeks on Thoughts Out Loud, but for the last month and a half, or maybe for the last 3 months, the live broadcast of the events that are taking place this weekend here. And so I'm going to go and figure that out. I'm going to pick 3. We're going to do it's going to be a crappy version. It's going to be nowhere near what I want it to be. I'm just going to pick 3 events, like a party event, a family event, and maybe a couples event that's not really that loud. Just pick those 3 events, talk about them on Facebook Live via the Soul Weaver Facebook group, and then just share that out there. And that's going to be, and we want to make that a thing. And then, building on the Thoughts Out Loud episode from Monday will just, or maybe that's Tuesday. I'm getting confused now. But, oh no, because I missed Monday. So Tuesday Thoughts Out Loud episode was just like learn by doing, right? No, that was yesterday's episode. So anyway, so just learn by doing, right? Like that's the thing we're going for, is just learning by doing. So we're just gonna take that the bare minimum, the very basics of this events broadcast, and then just do that. And then we'll just do it every week, and it'll be just like Thoughts Out Loud, which started with me sitting back in my chair with the camera just on in the dark and in front of my computer, to this now, this setup. So, just get started, and then it'll eventually take over from there, because if you do it all the time, you'll just want to make it better naturally. So that's what I'm going to do. That is the focus. Podcast in the AM, live broadcast in the PM. Word. With that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. I wish I had something to rhyme, because it would be like a literal mic drop. The mic is up here, though. You'd see it like... Anyway, Thoughts Out Loud is part of my daily routine. Supposedly, 80% of the time. I'm moving it up to 85. So if you want to see more, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, because we'll be back tomorrow with another session of Thoughts Out Loud. Let me know what you guys got going on. Let me know what your goals are in the comments, what your goals for the day are, what your goals for the week are. And we didn't do a midweek evaluation this week because we got thrown off by missing Monday. So how is your midweek evaluation? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you in the next Thoughts Out Loud episode.